All right, so jumping back into these nested loops, it's just like a nested decision structure, right? A nested if statement. So a nested loop is just a loop that's contained inside another loop. So an analog clock works like a nested loop. You have hours, once for every 12 movements of the minute's hand, and the hours and the minutes, right? So you have 60 seconds makes a minute. You have 60 minutes makes an hour. You have 24 hours makes a day. You have 365 days, makes a year, and so on and so forth, okay? So there's sort of a nested for loop, essentially. You have this inside loop that's doing its thing, and then you have this outside loop that's doing its thing, okay? So the key points about nested loops, and I'll show you how to write them, obviously, is the inner loop goes through first, and then the inner loops completes their iteration obviously faster than the outer ones, and then everything sort of counts up. So let's go ahead and, best way to understand what a nested loop does is to go ahead and just make one. So let's do our outside loop. We're going to call it for I, we're going to use the range function, and we're going to count up to 10. Okay? Now we're going to make an inside loop, okay, for j in range, and we're going to have that one count up to 20. And actually, let's make this one go from 0 to 10, and let's make this one go from from 10 to 20, right? Because this is non-inclusive, right? So we can start at 10 and go to 19 then. Okay, so what we're going to do then is for each of these, I'm going to print I and then I'm going to print J. Okay, so this right here is what we would call a nested for loop. And what's going to happen is it's going to start out with I as 0, and it's going to start out with J as 10, and then it's going to go 10, 0, 10, 0, 11, 0, 12, 0, 13, 0, 14, 0, 19. And then this one's going to go up 1. So it's going to go 1, 10, 1, 11, 1, so on and so forth. So this one goes 10 to 20 over and over and over and over and over and over and over again this many times. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and print this out so you can see it. All right, so coming up here, we have 0, 10, 0, 11, 0, 12, 0, 13, blah, 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 blah. So this is the inside loop from 10 to 19, 10 to 19, 10 to 19. You see it happening over and over and over again, right? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Now, you could do as many of these as you want, honestly. So we can do 4K in range. Let's go 20 to 30, right? So then we can print I, J, and K. Okay, so this could be like a three-dimensional array or something that you're doing, right? So now you can see it produces a lot more output because the innermost loop goes the fastest. So then we have 0, 10, 20, 0, 10, 21, 0, 10, 22, blah, 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 blah. And then finally we get to 0, 11, 20, 0, 11, 21, 22, so on and so forth. So I want you to go ahead and play around with this to try to kind of figure out the way that this works. What's kind of interesting is you can use these to just do some interesting binary stuff. There's a knapsack problem that I may throw at you guys where you can actually do some kind of clever things using binary. Okay, so here I have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. So if you remember how we counted up in binary, see how it's just going back and forth, it's flip-flopping here. Okay, so I can use each loop, so for L in range 2, I, J, K, and L. Okay, so now I'm going to get this combinatorics of binary. Oh, and here's the red letters. Okay, very, very useful. I can see in line 4 I'm missing a colon, and so on. Sure enough, I am. Okay, so now you can see it sort of counting up in binary, right? So we have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. You can see how it's just counting up in binary, right? Which is pretty cool. Now you could actually make it to where you do decimal as well, right? Just by replacing this with 10. Now you're going to see that it's counting up to 1,000 or 10,000. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so on and so forth. In each one of these, this is the ones, this is the tens, this is the hundreds, this is the thousands. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and play with those nested loops. It's really, really, really powerful. Again, we're going to be using that quite a bit throughout all of our work and everything that we're doing. Okay, all right, so again, Please go through all these different exercises, mess around with them, write the code, make sure it works, learn the interpreter. If you're having troubles, go ahead and email me. And if you're having any troubles at all, even with the exercises or whatever, just go ahead and get a hold of me and we'll work you through it. All right. We'll see you on the other side.